Hi, welcome to Positive Connections. Let's talk. I'm Has, and today we're going to talk about how to boost your child's brain power. That's right. And our guest for today is a gifted education specialist, an educational psychologist, an international lecturer where she lectures in various universities in Singapore, Malaysia, and India. She's also a published author of this amazing book, The Secrets to Raising a Smarter Child. Now, this book is available on Amazon, and one lucky viewer will stand a chance to win this book. So stick around. All information will be found at the link below if you'd like to have a chance to win the book. So without further ado, let's welcome my dear friend, Dr. Inderbir K Sandhu. Hi, Inderbir. Welcome.
Hi, Has. Thank you so much for having me here. And let me tell you that you're doing amazing work. I'm so proud that you're sharing all this with parents.
Wow, Inderbir, I'm just so excited that you're here today. Thank you so much for lending us your precious time. And you've been doing this amazing work since 1996. And I'm just so grateful that you're here today to support the parents and teachers. You see, over the past few months, I've been receiving many concerns through calls, through my interactions with parents and teachers when I'm teaching or training. How can we help our child focus more? And especially, we're talking about children from 0 to 8 years old. So here's my question to you. How much time should a child be spending time learning at home in the first place?
Actually, it really depends on how young the child is. But if they can stay focused for between 1 to 3 hours, and usually the younger ones will be lesser focused, the younger ones would need lesser time, and the older ones a little more time. Now, 1 to 3 hours would be absolutely fantastic. Please do not worry too much on how much time your child spends learning. It's always better to have a really successful hour where the child enjoys their work rather than 3 hours of frustration. And
Amazing.
if things aren't going well and everyone is getting frustrated, it's okay. Break the cycle. You can always pick things up again the next day. And what I want parents to remember is children will not remember finishing that math or English homework, but they will remember how you have made them feel and what the vibe is in the house at that time. Now that will be something they will remember. And trust me, you would want them to have happy learning memories.
Wow, I love it. One successful hour. Of course, that makes sense. Most important is for the child to feel good during the learning, not so much about how much time they learn, but how they feel about the learning that's going to make it effective for them. And of course, some children need more time, some children need less. So during this time, do you suggest that children take a break?
Now, a break is crucial when kids are learning. Now, I call this a brain break. This, some of you may know this term, some may not. I'll roughly explain to you what this is. Now, a brain break is a short break from whatever kids are focusing on. Now, these are mental breaks designed to help children stay focused and attentive. Now, the brain actually gets a break, when kids take a break and start moving, and what happens is that it carries blood and oxygen to the brain that energizes and relaxes the brain. And of course, the child would learn better after that. Now, when should you take this break while the child is learning? When you find that your child is getting distracted, is losing focus, is getting fatigued. Before that happens, when you see little signals of these red flags, stop. Get your child to take a break.
I see.
And the length of the break is typically between 3 to 5 minutes. After about say 10 to 15 minutes, again depending on the child. If the child is young, you have to take the breaks more often. If the child is older, you can lengthen it So it's basically between 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow, I'm loving what I'm hearing. Brain breaks, movement, energize the body. That's exactly what I have been doing with my children, my students over the past 25 years. So listen to the expert now. If you want to have a smart child, you've got to make smart moves. Remember, take brain breaks. And you need to do it for 3 to 5 minutes and make sure that whenever you see your child is getting fidgety or losing focus, you can just stop and get up and do some brain breaks. So this is wonderful. I really hope that more teachers are also watching this so that they can empower the students as well. So tell us more about brain breaks.
It helps brain shift focus. It also helps adults. Even we need brain breaks, say after an hour of work. Now, it's as simple as getting up and moving or stretching, just doing something which is not what you were doing for that, that 15 to 20 minutes. Now, what happens is that movement increases blood flow to the brain, which actually helps with focus and staying alert. It also reduces stress and the anxiety, which makes it easier to focus on important tasks. So, what happens is that when your child gets back to doing the work they were doing, they do it better and they're more focused. In fact, let me tell you, research actually indicates that kids learn more quickly after they have exercised. For example, in a study, kids were 20% faster at learning vocabulary words after they have exercised than when they hadn't. All you need is to take a 3 to 5 minutes break. That will really do wonders for your child.
Wow, I love it. And this is so wonderful because in my own journey as a teacher and as a parent, struggling single mom when I was raising my child, and I didn't know he had attention deficit disorder. One thing I did right was to include many, I didn't call it brain breaks, but I call it brain balancing activities that really supported him. And I didn't know that he had attention deficit disorder. I just knew that he needed much more to focus and he had learning challenges when he was younger. So this is such precious information for all the parents out there to know that it doesn't matter if your child has attention deficit disorder or whatever learning challenges. Everyone needs a brain break. In fact, even adults do. So here's another question for you. In many of my teachers' training, especially when we're talking about training teachers in early childhood and lower primary school, they say that, the minute we get the children to move, it's very hard for them to come back to focus. So let's hear your professional perspective on this.
Okay. Now, the thing about brain breaks is that, people think that when it's a brain break, it has to be active. That is not true. Now, in fact, relaxing, quiet activities can have similar benefits for kids who may get overstimulated by a physical brain break. The example you were giving me, Has, just now, children who are very highly energetic, they may get overstimulated if they do a physical brain break. So active breaks may make it tougher for these kids to actually settle back down to learning or doing their homework. Now, what you can do is get these kids to do short guided meditation exercises, stretching, directed drawing, say doodling, or even anything quiet that which involves movement, but it's quiet. Stretching is amazing for such kids. Just a few minutes can be enough to get the overworked area of the brain time to recharge.
Wow, I love this. Many ways to support children who are active. So we can actually do quiet activities. I like that. Drawing and doodling and doing something active yet quiet. I'm really passionate about mindfulness for children. And I've seen over the years with my very own eyes, children who had attention deficit disorder, autism, or any kind of learning challenges or even learning blockages, when you couple mindfulness with certain movement activities, you can see them literally building that self-regulation skills over time, because many teachers sometimes give up without giving that time frame for the children to practice because they are fidgety. So thank you so much, Inderbir. This is so precious. And moving forward, I know that you are a strong advocate in music. So tell us, from your research and perspective, how does music boost the child's brain power?
Many of us, listening to music makes us feel more relaxed and stimulated. And because of that, it improves memory, concentration, and the ability to learn. Now, what is even better is playing musical instrument. I mean, just imagine engaging in a range of listening skills and mental exercises uh, that requires precise finger movements, listening for pitch and rhythm, all combined with an emotional dimension. Now, imagine how hard the brain is working to get all this together. So it is really
Wow.
amazing. It sharpens the brain. So music definitely boosts brain power. And I know, Has, you do a lot of music programs, and it's amazing. It's really amazing, and I'm sure you know how amazing it is when you do it with your kids.
Absolutely. In fact, in the early years of my career, more than 20 years ago, I started out as a music and movement educator, and I fell in love with it. And therefore, right now, in whatever program that I create or I train or I teach, there's always some element of music, because music is a language of the soul. And I just want to clarify, okay, especially for parents out there who are feeling stressed because their children are stressed out and not motivated about doing their piano exams or their violin exams. I just want to clarify, because I have coached children and parents as well who have issues and challenges with children completing these tasks. So please clarify, when you talk about music, you're not talking specifically about taking exams or doing music so that they can get some kind of certification. Am I right?
Given the opportunity, these kids who are forced into playing music are going to learn to actually dislike it so much, whereas a child who is encouraged to play music, to enjoy music, will actually carry on much longer than someone who's forced to play music to take exams. And I understand that some parents want their kids to learn music to the core, like really go all out, take all kinds of exam. But think about it, what is the end result? I do know some kids who are so passionate about music, and they enjoy taking exams, they enjoy playing music. So that's different. I'm talking about the ones who totally do not enjoy music, but they have to play a musical instrument because you read my book and it says that playing musical instrument is supposed to be good. So you want to
Yeah.
you want to boost their brain power. I mean, it's good that you want to do something, you want to help your child, but there are many ways to boost brain power, and music is one of them, but not forced music.
So remember, dear parents, no stress, enjoy the music. That's how you boost your child's brain power with music. Enjoy. Okay, so now I want to talk about how inspired I am about this book. And what I love about what your book does is that it has information not just about how to engage the brain, it has information about health, relationships, nutrition, and there's one more fascinating thing: neurobics. Tell us more about neurobics.
This is one of my favorites because it's quite different, and kids really enjoy it. Now, this neurobics is actually a new science on how to exercise the brain. It's a combination of nerves and aerobics, something like aerobics of the nerves. So the condition here is that one or more sensory organ must be used in a new context. total focus and concentration is required while performing because it's something new, and it must significantly break a regular routine. That means one is no longer in autopilot mode. For example, when you wake up in the morning and if you're right-handed, you pick up the toothbrush and you brush your teeth with your right hand. You are in autopilot mode. So what you do is do it with your left hand. Now that is going to sharpen your brain because your brain has to immediately shift focus, and there's a lot of your brain is doing a lot of hard work that is actually exercising the brain.
How long should parents and children practice neurobics?
Well, actually, again, it really depends. You could have it like you can have it for an hour a day, 10 minutes a day, even 5 minutes a day, depending on the activity. Or you can even have one day in a week, like half that day is spent on doing the neurobics. Everything you're doing everything the opposite way. You brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. You have your meal with you hold a fork and spoon the other way, and everything is basically you're not in autopilot mode anymore. So one interesting way which I find very effective and kids totally enjoy it is actually to try to write with your toes instead of writing with your hand. So even that, as long as you break the routine and you're no longer in autopilot mode, your brain will have to exercise, will have to work very hard to achieve perfection. Okay, which is you probably won't achieve perfection, but the more you do it, the sharper your brain becomes.
Wow, Inderbir, thank you so much. And now I want to talk about your book. Basically, what we've talked about, from the power of brain breaks to the power of music to neurobics, they're all found in this book. Right now, we have about 10 hard copies. And if you are interested to receive it or purchase it, you can always purchase it on Amazon. Or if you like it quicker, you can always click on the link below to find out how to get it. There's 10 hard copies left. So just click on the link below. And remember, one lucky viewer will stand a chance to win this book. I'm sure that the book will be a great companion in your parenting or teaching journey. So thank you so much. And Inderbir, I just want to say how grateful I am. I remember a time when my child was 15 years old, and I was just telling you about my concerns about him. And you said, Has, he might be gifted. I said, nah, I don't think so. And lo and behold, at 17, we discovered that he has attention deficit disorder and he's highly gifted. So imagine that. Inderbir, you could spot my child's gift without even assessing him, just by listening to a talk over coffee about some of my concerns. And that's wonderful. And I also remember a time, Inderbir, I had a girl whom I was coaching, and she's in the autism spectrum, and she was so sad. And she says, nobody thinks I'm creative. And she has been writing pages after pages in her journal because it is her story that she was writing, but nobody thought it was creative. She was really sad. And so I recommended the mom to see Dr. Inderbir, and because she also does creativity testing for the child, and they found that she is in the higher spectrum. She's highly creative, and that girl is so happy. And you know what? Now she's completed her O levels. So thank you for being a part of my journey. Through you, I've been able to serve children like the one I've mentioned, and my own son, and many others. So thank you for being a part of my journey. And this is what Positive Connections is all about: connecting with yourself, knowing what you love, empowering yourself, and then serving others. So once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my journey. And are there any last words that you would like to say?
Okay. What I believe is that a happy child is a learning child. And I think, happiness is so important for a child. And every children deserve a wonderful childhood, and nobody should take that away from them.